I want to talk about some scary movies. Yeah, I like them. I watch a lot of them. I'd say I'm a connoisseur of the type. But
What are your favorite type of scary movies?
I like psychological horror. I think, like, back in the day, I feel like everyone starts like, oh, this is scary because it's got gore in it, or this is scary because there's a jump scare. You just grow out of it. It gets boring. So it's like you gotta find something that's gonna have a draw. Like movies like Mandy, I don't think you've ever seen it. It's a Nick Cage movie. That it is just so trippy that your brain can't comprehend it.
Well, I think
I like that. I think that's scarier to me than, oh look, we cut his leg off. It's like, okay, I
well,
guess.
it seems like you have like gore movies,
You have
and then
gore
you
movies, you have
have
shock value, you have
right
psychological, you have jump
jump
scare
scare.
movies. Then you go to the PG-13 movies that I don't even want to talk about because half of them are trash, anyways.
That's like build up with no payoff.
But then you go into like movies like Skinamarink. You know, it's there's no payoff at all. There's nothing. Nothing happens. But it's rated as like one of the top horror movies of all time.
But is that just because it's now
Is
and
it because media attention
there's not a
adds
whole
to it
lot of
though?
good movies right now?
I mean, look, horror movies come out. At least you get at least three every month. You know, you get so many. The market's so oversaturated. It's like, do you actually get good movies, or do you just have so many that one of them's just bound to be okay?
Or do you just have the same formula with different characters?
Pretty much. I mean, I think that's why.
Like,
Like,
is there any like truly original horror ideas
I think
anymore?
there's some. I think Barbarian that came out. I mean, it's pretty recent. I think it's a good idea because anything that makes you sympathize with the so-called monster of the movie, it's like it's just different because you don't get that.
Kind of like the Rob Zombie movies.
Or even Saw 10, Saw X, whatever it is, where it's like I'm gonna give you the backstory of Jigsaw. It's like you humbled a villain. It's like it's just different than
Where are we in the day where we're chilling, uh, cheering, not chilling,
chilling.
we're
We're
cheering,
chilling.
cheering for the villain?
I
Has it
think
has
you've
there ever
always had that day.
has there ever
I mean,
been some
okay,
movies where you're like, I hate all of the good guys, I want all the bad guys to win? The end.
yes. Well, I mean, okay, look at Halloween stores. Look at statues and look at comic books. People want Jason. They want Freddy Krueger. They want Ghostface. They don't care about the final girl of the movies. Nobody's really cheering for them.
But I think you're also kind of longing for the day for Jason to truly die, or Michael Myers to truly die, and they just won't give it to you. It's just like they tease you with it, and it's like it's never going to come.
Well, I have a love-hate relationship with the Halloween franchise anyway, because I think it should have been gone quite a while ago. I've never met somebody who's like, wow, the 15th Halloween movie was just really good.
The first four were like, okay, but number eight,
That really hit,
that's where it started taking off.
you don't see that.
But okay, like Halloween, there's the same movie with just a different number in front of it, or
Pretty
Friday the
much.
13th. It's just how many
Yeah.
different ways can we kill somebody this time?
How many times can we bring Jason back as a robot?
Right? We can put him in space.
That'd be cool.
We can put him in Manhattan.
Why not? Put him wherever. Doesn't matter. Change the setting. But I think now people have seen so much horror, or even if you haven't, I feel like people just have that morbid curiosity that they just want to see like the craziest stuff.
Like Terrifier.
That's even on the tame side of what I would say. Like, Terrifier has a crowd following, but it's nowhere near like. I'm talking the harder to find. I'm gonna watch this movie because I know it's gonna disturb me kind of movies.
like Human Centipede.
Yeah. Or like 120 Days of Sodom.
So is that just something that's just gross, or is
Yeah,
it
I mean,
just a subject matter that's taboo?
it's just movies that are just so out there. They're so weird and gross, and they're made to be gross, and that's the kind of horror that it is. They're making it to make you feel gross.
But is there a market for that?
Clearly, people have made millions of dollars off of it. People want it. I mean, it's weird people, but people want to see it. Well, I mean, look how many disturbing movie iceberg things. It's like, I'm gonna see how far I can get, just out of curiosity. Let me see how far down the list I can get. Don't do that. From personal experience, please don't do that.
How many levels of
There's 10 tiers,
so
and
who puts the list together?
I just Reddit people, which are just the best people. Very, very educated crowd.
For all you Reddit users out there.
I'm not being mean, you know. You know how you are.
Well, I think
But
when you
have all these people and they put it together and there's tiers of like, okay, here's the normal ones, and then you start getting a little bit weirder and a little bit weirder, but it says something when Human Centipede is only in the second tier. You know, like you're getting yourself into something to where like you're getting down to like 8, 9, and 10 are like you're going to go to jail if you have ability to watch these movies.
So you're talking about like snuff films or something?
Yeah, like
but those
illegal films.
Yeah, those are not something that's
not something you're gonna find. But if you can get to tier 6 and 7,
so would that be a movie that comes out at theaters? Or is that just something that just goes straight to video or something?
You're not getting one that goes out at theaters until after 2. Once you get past 2, they're not coming out in the theaters because there's just not a big enough market that people are gonna watch it. You're not gonna get the movie money out of it.
So what kind of money are you getting out of it then? Or are you getting
weirdos?
Money or is it just like a fetish to try to make it?
I think it's just people who have just these weird minds that are like, I'm just gonna make this movie and somebody's gonna watch it, and they did. Somebody did watch them, and quite a few people watched them because they want to see, well, can I get through it? Can I push myself? I don't know why you would want to. Hearing just the summaries of some of these movies is enough to make you queasy. But people watch them.
I don't think that would be me.
I don't think that's a lot of people. I think...
Your favorite movie is Tusk, right? With Kevin Smith.
I would rather watch tier 4 movies than watch that movie again. And it's not... I don't know why that movie strikes a chord with me for some reason. And it's not just me. It's a lot of people that just hate it. And he made that movie willingly. He said, this would be really funny. Because it's at it was thrown out there at the end of a Comic Book Men episode. And he was like, wouldn't that be really weird? Like, wouldn't people laugh at this if we turn this guy into a walrus? No. Nobody's laughing. Him. Because I sure wasn't laughing. I think I cried 4 times, but...
I didn't see it.
I've watched it 4 times. And I've cried every time.
I hate this movie so much. I better watch it again to see if I hate it less this time.
Rarely will I watch a movie 1 time.
I was about to say, I don't know if I've ever watched a movie 4 times, period.
Oh, I've watched movies well more than 4 times.
That's weird.
Like, I'd go into, like, the Child's Play movies. I think I've seen the whole series probably 6 or 7 times.
Okay, so where does Child's Play fall in the horror categories?
Child's Play or the Chucky movies?
It doesn't really...
I feel like it's different.
Is it? Is it different?
Well, Child's Play, I think, is more... The first one is more of a horror movie. It's this is scary, there's a serial killer, and it's in this doll. Isn't that crazy? And then you get campy. And that's when you get to the good movies. In my opinion, at least.
So, but is that a horror movie then,
It's a horror
or is
movie.
that just a camp movie?
I think it's a horror movie.
A horror.
I think anything that has a killer, that has a slash, I'd say slasher movie. I wouldn't really call Chucky a slasher.
Okay, so do you find yourself pulling for Chucky?
No. No. I think they make him so just rude. It's just like, you don't. I don't know, because I have before when I'm like, I hope he kills this person.
And you have a Chucky doll.
I do. I like Chucky. I think those are some of my favorite movies. Period.
But not scary movie.
Oh well, they don't scare me. Well, I think there's only like a handful of movies that I've ever been like, I'm gonna have nightmares because of this. That Walrus movie.
That you watch 4 times.
I have had the worst nightmares about that movie. It's like it has traumatized
So
me.
are you trying to watch it enough where you just get desensitized
Yes.
to it?
I think
it
there's
doesn't
a-
have an effect on you anymore.
That's what I did with like Human Centipede. You watch it one time, you're like, ooh, and then you watch it again, you're like, well, I can see the enjoyment. I guess like you see it in a different way.
Why would you watch that movie more than once?
I don't know.
You got problems.
I know. But you see, like, some of them, you're like, okay, well, if I watch this more than once, you can see a different perspective on it. You can see where people are coming from when they make it. It's like, okay, I understand. That movie, I've watched it more than some of the other of my favorite movies, and I'm still not desensitized to it, and it still freaks me out.
So what's the scariest movie that you've seen besides Tusk? 'Cause that's not really scary.
The Thing,
The original.
the
Thing?
1980 one, that one was freaky to me. And I would say Signs, if that counts as a horror movie.
That's Alien.
Yes. That one scene with the cabinet and the alien running by, like, there's something about that one that just, I didn't like. It gave me an uneasy feeling.
Oh, I don't remember that.
It's not a bad movie. It's just, it does have that atmosphere to it that I'm like, it's scary. But I think it's rare that a movie's gonna, like, really freak me out.
Are there a whole lot of Alien movies that are really scary? I mean, other than Aliens, I guess, or Alien, the franchise.
I'm freaked
are
out by
kinda-
aliens. I think
Well,
I think aliens scare me way more than ghosts or demons or whatever else. I think aliens.
So not
They-
the franchise Aliens, but
No,
just aliens
not
in
the
general.
not the franchise. I think those aliens are fine. But I'm talking about like the little gray guys that like walk around, and
Maybe they're not great.
I don't know what color they are because they
Maybe-
sure look tan.
Maybe they look like us.
Well, that's fine.
Maybe they
Those
walk.
aliens don't
Maybe they
scare
walk
me.
among us.
I'm talking about like the.
Maybe they're watching right now.
That's fine. They can watch.
Thumbs up. Click the like button if you're alien.
Yeah. Comment below if you're from another planet, and then comment the planet. I'd like to know. But aliens freak me out. They're freaky. But you also have like Nope, which is aliens, and that one didn't scare me as much. I watched that twice. I didn't like it the first time, then I watched it the second time, and there's a new appreciation for it. Sometimes you just have to watch a movie more than once to get the point.
I mean, I guess there's some truth to that. I mean, it's kind of like music. You hear a lot of songs
Yeah,
the
you
first
hear it
time,
once and you're like, I don't
"Eh."
really like that, but then you hear it again and you're like, well, this is growing on me.
Right. Kind of like Ghost.
Ghost? No, that struck a chord with me immediately.
Or
That was awesome.
Kiss.
Kiss took me a minute.
It's
Took me a
like
minute.
the first time you hear it's like, I don't know. And then it's like, okay. And
Okay,
then
I'm
it's
digging
like, playlist, add.
My whole playlist is Kiss now.